Okay. Good afternoon to all of you. So today in this lecture we are going to make a presentation. We equally contributed in this presentation, and this presentation is given by Megha ma'am, and this presentation is on Robert Frost, a poet of America. So let's start our presentation and we all give our equal contribution in this presentation, and from 10 of us, we three, me, Hetal Pathak and Gansham Kataria, we three are going to present this presentation. So let's start. This our names here are mentioned. We 10 all are this. First slide is all about points to ponder. Biography of Robert Frost, major work of Robert Frost, famous line and quote of Robert Frost, award and achievements, his style of writing, themes of his poem, comparison of Robert Frost and Bob Dylan, and articles on Robert Frost. So, first one is Robert Frost biography and lifestyle of Robert Frost. Robert Frost was born in 1874 and died in 1963. He was American poet and he was famous poet of America, and he also winner of 4 Pulitzer Prize. He born and raised in San Francisco, well known for his realistic presentation of rural life. Graduation. He was graduated from high school, and after high school he attended Dartmouth College. He wrote poems early in the morning on the farm, and he was also a realistic poet, and his works are based on reality of rural life. And his first book of verse is A Boy's Will, published in 1930. His first poem is published in 1930. These are the famous work of Robert Frost. Here are some poems. The Wood Pile, Tree of My Widow, Window, Desert Places, and Her Time. There all are his famous poems. How many poems Frost wrote? 100 poems according to various sources. This is taken from that 100 of poems Robert Frost write in his whole life. These are the quotes by Robert Frost. This quote is by his from his major poem Stopping by Woods. These woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promised to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. The best way out is always through. Don't ever take offense down until you know why it was put up. These all are his famous quote. Here is what kind of awards he won in his whole life. First is 4 Pulitzer Prize, 1924, 1931, 1937 and 1943. These are timing of when he won this Pulitzer Prize, American Academy of Arts, and later gold medal for poetry in 1939. Robert Frost Medal, he won this medal in 1941. United States Poet Laureate, he was a Poet Laureate of United States in 1958. Here I put in some pictures of that medals. Like this picture is a Pulitzer Prize medal, and this is the United States of America. Robert Frost. This is the picture of Robert Frost, and when he won this award in 1988, in these things he put his photo on his medal. And this is also a medal of the American Academy of Arts. So here I rest my presentation. So now I'm going, Gansham Katra was going to present. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Katri and Sharma, and we are discussing first poetic style. So he was writing poems that were simple and with clarity. So he used language that was very simple and understanding, yet and his poetry had a conversational style, like in his poem, The Death of the Hired Man. There was it seems like there was a conversation between a man and a woman, and he used the poetic concept of onomatopoeia, and that means that he used in his several poems that uh, he used lines twice, like this poem, stopping by the woods in a snowy evening, that the woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promised to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Why he used this concept? Because he wanted to emphasize on those words, because he used a simple style, but his poems had very deep meanings in it. His poetry was narrative and dramatic. So he is also he is introduced as a regional poet, and he write about narrative. He was narrating in his poem, like this poem, stopping by woods in snowy evening, and bridges. So those are poems that had narrative and dramatic poetry, and he wrote mostly in a blank verse, and also he liked the rhyme scheme of ABAB and ABAC. The themes of his poetry. So he was a very simple poet, and he wrote. He was simple, yet he had philosophical thinking. So he mostly write in his poetry about human love, isolation, life struggles, mortality, nature. And he was also a narrative poet, and he was called as a regional poet. So his poetry contained about the narrative of scenery of New England and rural life, and self-realization. Thank you. Further we'll discuss.
Okay, so myself Hector Pathak, and I'm going to present the latter part of the presentation. And the next topic is comparison between Robert Frost and Bob Dylan. Robert Frost, he was an American poet, while Bob Dylan was an American singer, songwriter, author, and visual artist. Robert Frost was mainly known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American speech. So, as we know that Robert Frost was mainly known as a realistic poet, because in his major poetry or major works, he depicts the realistic pictures of human life. While Bob Dylan, his major figure in popular culture. He is the only poet to receive 4 prizes, the Congressional Gold Medal 1960, and on July, Frost was named Poet Laureate of Vermont. So Robert Frost was also known as a poet laureate, and Bob Dylan, he won Nobel Prize in Literature in 2016. So Bob Dylan, he won Nobel Prize because of his poetic depictions in literature, and that is why he won Nobel Prize in the year 2016. Further, what are the themes of Robert Frost poetry? Like everyday life, human contact with supernatural world, human love and their struggles, morality, nature, rural life, and self-realization, etc. These are the major themes that one can find in Robert Frost poetry. While in Bob Dylan, his songs are rooted in the rich tradition of American folk music. His lyrics incorporated social struggles and political Southwest. Love and religion are other important themes in his songs. So, if we find the themes in Robert Frost poetry, we will connect the situations of everyday life and rural depiction. While in Bob Dylan's song, two major themes are concerned: love and religion. He wrote mostly in blank verse, and also he liked the rhyme scheme of ABAB and ABAC pattern. While Bob Dylan, his writing is often characterized by refined rhymes and his paints surprising something surely imaginary. So Bob Dylan's works are mostly based on imagination. Okay. Robert Frost as a realistic poet. This is the name of one article which I found from Gesture. That Robert Frost is one of the most widely discussed poets of the 20th century. He also seems to be one of the most frequently misunderstood. As we seen that while I was searching for that article, the name of article was like Robert Frost as a bleak. Bleak means one who is very sad. So Robert Frost as a bleak or realistic poet, because he mostly depicts the realism in his poetry, and that is why he mostly considered as a realistic poet, and he frequently misunderstood. Early in his career, Frost was praised for his simplicity. As Ghanshyam said that Robert Frost was known for his simplicity in his work, and that is why he was praised for his simplicity. His poetry was thought to offer a refreshing contrast to the complexity of T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound. Both were the prominent during the American era. His poetry has layer of meanings. So the Robert Frost poetry has full of meanings in his works. In Robert Frost poetry, one will find the autobiographical depiction like rural life and everyday activities, and these both are what the depictions of rural life and everyday activities we can find in themes also. He depicts the truth and real struggles of real people in the real world, and in the so he put more emphasis on what about the real struggle and real people in the real world, and that is why he is considered as realistic poet. In the words of Frost, he said that all poetry is a reproduction of the tones of actual or real speech. So we can understand that from this quotation by his own, that it is a reproduction of the tones of actual speech, means he puts more emphasis on reality. Okay, so not that much, but because I have referred two articles, so that is why I have cited this because I personally found it very useful, and that is why I have mentioned here, because you can go and read the full article about Robert Frost. Okay, so that's all I have to say about our group presentation. Thank you.